Wisconsin. Key facts. Abbreviation WI. Nickname Badger State, America's Dairyland. Capital Madison. Flower wood violet. Tree sugar maple. Bird robin. Dance polka. Motto forward. What a lot of top-class comedies seem to come out of Wisconsin. Jackie Mason, Gene Wilder, and Abraham Zucker and Zucker, who gave us the Airplane and Naked Gun movies. Maybe it's the weather. I wake up in my bed and breakfast hotel room in Westby, and despite the comfort of the bedclothes, something in me just knows that it is shatteringly cold outside. And it is. A thermometer tacked on the post of the porch reads -25 degrees. Bear in mind that America talks Fahrenheit, where freezing is +32 degrees, so we are 57 degrees below freezing, or -31 degrees Celsius. Cold enough, frankly. They have had 88 inches of snow already this winter in Westby, and there is more on the way. When I get outside, my body is so shocked I can only laugh. Or I think I am laughing. Actually, I realize it is my lungs choking on the freezing water vapor that I am inhaling. They have never ingested anything so cold in all their 50 years on the planet. It is so cold that the snow is freezing, so cold and so dry that if you throw a cup of scaldingly hot water into the air, the water will not freeze. It will actually disappear, be sucked instantly into the vapor-starved atmosphere. Westby is in the center of Vermont County, Wisconsin, a place of rolling hills and rich farmland worked by scattered Amish communities and the descendants of the large number of Norwegians who settled here in the 19th century. Viking paraphernalia and Scandinavian names are the evidence everywhere. Only a hard Norseman can survive these dreadful temperatures. One of Wisconsin's major products is cheese. You will notice that as well as calling itself the Badger State, Wisconsin considers herself America's Dairyland. You should trace by now that I love, respect, venerate and adore most things American, the people, the places, the institutions and the landscapes. So much haze of abiding value, charm, beauty and quality. But not of the cheese. America doesn't get cheese. They put up with the most hideous orange melted gunk, weird vestigial descendants of Munster and Cheddar, and with a processed liquid substance which is closer to a polymer than a foodstuff, and which you can squirt from a bottle and, I promise you I'm not making this up, spray from a can. Cheese, in the real sense of the word, along with the proper bread, can only be found in special places in America, usually cities with a student and artist population. In Wisconsin, they gather their cheese into a bowl, cover it in breadcrumbs, and deep fry it. That is how little they regard their premier export. There are, however, tiny pockets of cheese literacy and cheese standards where artisanal affineurs are producing cheese that one would use for more than the grouting of bathroom tiles. If my taxi will start, and once started will negotiate the icy, snow-packed roads, I shall visit one such farm. Mirabile dictu, the taxi does start. At the merest twitch of the key she springs into life. Her suspension and steering are not set up for eyes, however, and I have to be immensely careful as we climb the hills to my destination. It is an unimaginably beautiful drive. Nonetheless, On a crystal clear day, along snow-sculpted lanes, passing trees so overladen with snow that I am fearful the vibrations from a taxi will cause them to dump their loads on me as I pass. I arrive at last at the most perfect farm I have ever visited. From the main barn, I hear the sound of 1,000 newborn lambs bleating for milk. Brenda Jensen, who runs this farm with her husband Dean, puts me to work straight away. Attaching electric suckers to the teats of the ewes is not as easy as you might think. It would be easier to pierce Mike Tyson's nipples against his will. The ewes are desperate to be milked, and their full, thick-veined udders swing in front of me as they line up in the milking shed. I am distressed at their distress. But will this sucker go on the tit? I do my best and manage to hook up about 6 sheep, but at the rate time I'm going it will be time to evening milking before I've drained the last bag. It is the animal's own blasted fault. It seems that every day a ewe must, like some Reeve gauche existentialist, reinvent herself daily, and consequently she will have no idea what she did yesterday. She is frantic to be milked, but cannot recall that the metal suction cups, far from being her enemy, are her friend, and will bring her and her swollen udder nothing but relief. Such are the trials of being a left-bank intellectual. Either that or she is very, very stupid. As a reward to my efforts, Brenda takes me to the outbuildings where the cheese-making takes place, stirring the cream and adding the animal rennet to that kickstarts the fermentation. That I can manage. I am even allowed a taste of their excellent cheese. Brenda's farm does not use tractors or much modern machinery. She prefers cutlasses and sledges to motorized transport, and there is much to be said for it. I notice a pair of donkeys in the field. They work too, I ask. Oh yes, says Brenda. Security, it seems. That donkey will scare off coyotes, wolves, humans, anything or anyone who comes close to the farm at night, rather than patrols, electric fence, TV cameras or dogs. All a farm needs to keep its livestock safe is a pair of guard donkeys. I ride by horse-drawn sled to the neighboring Amish farm, where there is some extra milk to be picked up. 2 Amish men help me load churns onto the back of the sled. The Amish, members of a strict religious group descended from German and Swiss Mennonites, forbid electricity, telephones, and explicitly photography. I found them charming, friendly, funny, and kind, much more lively and high-spirited than I had expected of a people who live so old-fashioned a life without formal education, television, radio, internet, and cars. They speak a variation of German. The men grow beards without mustaches, an oddity that share with some fundamentalist Muslims, and their clothes are homemade, as are their houses and barns. Their village was stunningly beautiful and hauntingly quiet. Brenda and Dean tell me that they are perfect neighbors, kindly, helpful, and strong, but also discreet, modest, and completely unpushy. This part of Wisconsin is one of the few places I have visited in America where life feels simpler and more traditional than in even the remotest areas of Europe, and it is the first place in America I have visited where they get cheese. For that reason and that reason alone, it will have a secure and permanent place in my heart.